So today's exercise is what I call the Lawrence Halprin inspired exercise. It's a really good one to kind of get you used to navigating in SketchUp and also sort of playing around with some of the basic tools in SketchUp. I highly recommend doing this exercise about 5 minutes a day for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And it'll greatly improve how well you operate on SketchUp. So the picture on the screen right now is a Lawrence Halprin park, or one of Lawrence Halprin's designs in a park in the States somewhere. He did this very geometric, blocky type of shapes. That's why I call it the Lawrence Halprin activity. So getting started on SketchUp, this is your main splash screen that comes up. All we're going to do is click on the simple one, which is usually the one around far left that says inches under it. I'll get into a little bit more detail on our training class next week, but with SketchUp you can use any unit, such as inches, millimeters, centimeters, all in the same file. All this inches and represents is the base unit that it creates, but SketchUp uses real world measurements for all of its things. So I just clicked on the first one there. Wait till it loads up. And on your screen you will either have this bar here called the getting started, or this bar right over here. I'm just pulling them off so you can see the stuff a little bit better, but I just recommend leaving it where it is to get started. So all we're going to do is use this little tool here, and the one right beside it, or this one right over here, the rectangle, and the push pull here. So just click on this shape tool, the little rectangle tool. We're just going to click and drag out a little bit. Then we'll grab the push-pull tool beside it, which is there or over here on this one. And we're just going left-click and release, pull up a little bit. Tap the control button so you get a little plus symbol beside your push-pull symbol. I'll just tap off so there's no plus on there. And then now you see the little plus that indicates, and I'm just doing a quick tap of the control button and releasing it right away. That indicates that it's going to make a copy of that surface as it pulls it out. Whereas if I click it off and start my push pull, you'll notice that there's no extra line created. That indicates that I'm just pulling that surface out. So just alternate between tapping that on and turning it off, and start moving it around. So this time I didn't push pull or didn't create a copy, and you'll notice right across here as I pull it out there's no line showing. And just push it in a bit, push this one down, and just kind of alternate between doing the different blockiness here, and start getting yourself a little Lawrence Halprin sort of design. Add a few pluses to increase your surface counts, push maybe one up here. And as I'm rotating, I have a or actually my mouse is a 9-button mouse, but a minimum of 3-button mouse will allow you to push down on your center wheel, and that will allow you to do the orbit here. If you don't have the 3-mouse button, and when you're pushed down on the wheel, it doesn't allow you to orbit your view. The orbit is also found here and right here, and that will do the same thing but with a left click instead. To zoom in and out, just roll your wheel mouse back and forth, and that will allow you to adjust your view and zoom. Whenever you are zooming in and out, make sure you are over the piece that you want to do, like exactly over the spot where you want to focus in on. So zoom in on like a corner or a face, because if you don't, SketchUp will interpret wherever your mouse pointer is over that first face, and it will zoom off of that. So as you get bigger and bigger models, if you're not over the piece, it may do some very uncontrollable zooming or rotation factor for you, which then you get lost. If you do get lost, this button right here, which is the zoom with the 4 or 3 little arrows, it's called the zoom extents button. That's located there, and is also located here on the the large tool set. The zoom extents just does that. If you're lost within your model, which can be very easy to happen, like, oh shoot, I can't find where I am, just hit that zoom extents button. It'll pull you right back out. Then zoom out a little bit, change your view, and start back into it. So again, just use that push-pull, alternate between that control button, and just kind of keep on creating little blocks and do this thing. Move your view around, and until you are very useful to, or used to, I should say, zooming, orbiting, playing around with the blocks. Another thing to note, again, if you have the three-wheel mouse, you push down on the wheel mouse. If you hold your shift button, that will allow you to do a pan. So that little wheel mouse can do a zoom just by rolling it. Push down on it, gives you the orbit. Hold down the shift button, allows you to do the pan. And then up here, there's your orbit, there's your pan, there's your zoom, and these are all left click up here, and zoom extents. And over on here, on the large tool set, there's your orbit, there's your pan, there's your zoom, and then you also have a zoom window over here, and then zoom extents. I hope that helps. Look forward to teaching you next week.